What's up, guys? Welcome to another fantastic episode with your boy Franklin. If this is your first time on this channel, be sure to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Well, if you like what I'm about, if you like the vibe, you like the content, why not show your love, man? Hit that little bell button, okay? So you can get latest updates as soon as my videos go live. So I'm going to give you a quick background. This segment, okay, is basically imbibed into, the entirety of the channel, which, I basically use to share food recipes and stuff. But I recently started this new segment, which is called Say It Like It Is. We discuss everyday topics that affect every part of our lives, every aspect. It could be about relationship, it could be about business, it could be about finance, it could be family, and the list goes on. So it's pretty much eclectic, okay? Right, on today's episode, we're talking about misogyny, right? Do you love misogyny? You're probably thinking, misogyny is not a good thing, so how can I love misogyny? Right. This video is going to be a two-part video, okay? So this one, I'm going to talk about just quick background into what misogyny is about and stuff. And the other part, I'm going to tie it into, because I want to narrow this down into us, like, in the African community, and how misogyny affects us, particularly relationships, and how people bring some of those cultural, issues that have been deeply ingrained into our system, and how we bring them abroad, and how it affects life, how couples then find it difficult to live together, even back in Africa and stuff like that, okay? But without further ado, let's crack. Let me give a quick disclaimer. This is not man bashing, okay? This has to be talked about. Like I said, this series, we talk about anything and everything, okay? So don't have preconceived notions. This is not me trying to roll out a topic so I can get the women on my side and stuff like that. It's for us to learn, okay? And then hopefully we can keep the conversation going below. Now, I personally, this is my observation, and I see that, the culture, a lot of us have sort of this background of how we were raised and stuff, and particularly from the perspective of a man now. And if you don't know any better, there is the direct in your face type of misogynistic people. A classic example is Donald Trump, okay, who shows blatant disregard for women. He says anything. Misogyny is better understood as a moral manifestation of sexist ideology. Misogynistic men are equally, sexist men, okay? So it's about this male dominance that we're better than women, women should be below us and stuff. Now, the premise of this video is basically to look at how, some of us, you grow up in households. For example, I'm talking hypothetically now. If you grew up in a household where your father, right, you grew up in a, it could be an African setting, it could be non-African setting. But if your father treat your mom like she's a doormat, talks to her anyhow, for example, when men gather, women have to go in the back room, or women are seen as, get in the kitchen and go fix me a meal. Women are seen as properties. Women are not treated like they should be treated, not with the utmost respect and stuff like that. And men are constantly feeding our ego by belittling women, or the females in the family are just designed for sexual pounding and get them pregnant, just churning out babies, and the men cater to their own ego by making sure that those women are just sat there breeding kids, and they would rather be above them as the ones who are much more financially secure and stuff. And some of these ugly mentalities, when you raise kids, when you raise young men in that sort of environment, the kids are like sponges. This is why it's very, very easy to, for example, I digress, to be able to indoctrinate children, like with religion, and instill some of these ugly stuff in them. And when I look at it, now, from the perspective of a diaspora and somebody who lives abroad, and you look at a lot of people, some people marry from back home and bring their wives here, and then it's a different ball game entirely. Well, don't get me wrong, there is a lot of sexism and misogynistic men in the West as well. But at the same time, at least the West, women are fighting back. Women are upholding, they're fighting for their rights. They're challenging the status quo. They are, in companies where women wouldn't get promoted and things like that. Women are pushing. Even though things are not exactly where they should be, we are seeing those changes. There's a change, there's a shift in paradigm. I'm all for African culture. We have beautiful, beautiful cultures scattered across the African continent. But in saying that, there is this really nasty perception and of, you know, of how women should be treated. For example, I'll use Linda Ikeji. Everyone knows Linda Ikeji, right? For example, who is a Nigerian blogger who is successful. She's a billionaire. She's done well for herself and still doing well. I look at comments online. I'm sure you probably have seen this, because people have been indoctrinated. We have been raised in this very ugly way of looking at women. In our society, a woman cannot be seen as, oh, here is a strong black woman, a woman who's done well for herself, she's successful, and then you look away and get on with it. People feel the need to say, it's like if a woman is successful, go and get married. There is this, go and get married. It's like she's not complete until she's been dominated by a man. Do you get what I'm saying? Oh, she's too rich. I don't want to marry her. She's usually the broke guys that say that anyway. I don't want to get married to her. I don't want to marry that type of woman. She's got too much money. So what you realize is there is a ton of men actually. So this is my observation. There are tons of men out there that they feel absolutely insecure, and it happens in relationships. There are husbands, there are men who feel insecure when, say, the woman is earning more money or she's got a business, she's bringing on more bread than you. And the question is why? Because you know why? The indoctrination in how we've been raised in households where you believe a woman should be below you. Why? It's okay if you earn more money than your wife and it just happens organically. But why should it be that you must earn more than your wife? So if you are earning maybe, say, £100,000 a year and your wife is bringing home £250,000, what's wrong with that? I think the only problem is the moment you start to use what you have to hound or to maltreat the other person, then there is a problem. Okay? So like I said, misogyny, the way I've seen it, is this is it's like a silent killer, because when you're raised with these very ugly values, you don't even know it. Some people are misogynistic. They don't even know it. They don't even realize it. There's this unconscious bias towards women. And what I worry about personally is how, you know, we raise the next generation of men. It's like a man that grows in a household where your mother and father are slinging words as an exchange of a bit of argument, and your father beats your mom down all the time. She gets shouted down and she gets sent to the bedroom and stuff, and that's all you see growing up. There's a 99% chance that you're going to grow into life and do the same thing because you believe, yeah, that's how things should do. So you lack a proper way of communicating and working with your partner, or even learn to walk away and how to do. No one is perfect. We've all got shortcomings and stuff. But I believe this is creating a vicious cycle in our community. It's the same thing why a man would think, oh, I brought this woman from Africa to Europe. I filed for you and all that stuff. So it's like I own you. You're my okay, let me cut it short. Watch out for the part 2 of this, okay? I just basically wanted to whet your appetite, discuss what misogyny is about and how that is eating into us. So in the part 2 of this video, I am going to go into how this is affecting relationships in the diaspora. It's your boy Franklin. I'll see you in the next one. Peace and love. Bye now.